After seeing my old car and small apartment, my girlfriend walked away saying, "I need stability, not struggle." She had no idea I just sold my company and was living simply by choice. When the acquisition news broke and she started calling nonstop, I, 32 male, am watching my ex-girlfriend's life implode in real time, and I'm not lifting a finger to stop it. 2 weeks ago, Everly told me she needed stability, not struggle. She said it while standing in my apartment, looking at my 10-year-old Honda Civic parked outside like it was a personal insult. What she didn't know was that I had just closed the sale of my company for $23 million. The ink was barely dry on the acquisition papers. I had been planning to tell her that night, maybe even propose. Instead, I watched her walk away without a single question about why I lived the way I did. Yesterday, the acquisition hit TechCrunch, Bloomberg, and every major business publication. My phone has been ringing nonstop ever since. Everly has called 47 times. She has sent 62 text messages. She has shown up at my apartment twice. Each message is more desperate than the last. Each voicemail more rehearsed. I haven't answered a single one. The woman who needed stability is now begging the man she called a struggle. But I should probably start from the beginning. I met Everly 8 months ago at a networking event in downtown Seattle. She worked in marketing for a mid-sized consulting firm. Pretty, polished, confident. We hit it off immediately. She liked that I was focused and driven. I liked that she seemed grounded and real. For the first 6 months, everything felt easy. We kept our lives somewhat separate. She lived in a nice apartment in Capitol Hill. I stayed in my one-bedroom in Fremont. We met for dinners, weekend trips, late-night conversations. She never asked to see my place. I never pushed for her to visit. It felt natural, no pressure, no rush. What Everly didn't know was that I had been building a software company for 5 years. A SaaS platform for enterprise resource planning. Boring name, boring function, incredibly profitable. By year 3, we had 30 corporate clients. By year 4, we were pulling in $8 million in annual recurring revenue. By year 5, a private equity firm came knocking with a term sheet that made my lawyers pause mid-sentence. I kept my lifestyle exactly the same through all of it. Same apartment, same car, same clothes. I didn't see the point in buying things I didn't need. My apartment was clean, functional, comfortable. My car ran fine. My clothes fit. I reinvested every dollar back into the company, paid my team well, kept my burn rate low. I watched other founders in my network buy Teslas and downtown condos and expensive watches, then scramble when their runway shortened. I wanted to build something that lasted, not something that looked good on Instagram. Everly knew I worked in tech. She knew I ran a small company. She never asked for details, and I never volunteered them. Looking back, I realized she filled in the blanks with assumptions. Small company meant small income. Old car meant financial struggle. One-bedroom apartment meant I couldn't afford better. I didn't correct her because I didn't think it mattered. I thought we were building something based on who we were, not what we had. I was wrong. 3 weeks ago, the acquisition moved from term sheet to active negotiation. My lawyers told me to keep it quiet until the deal closed. I agreed. I wanted to tell Everly, but I also wanted to wait for the right moment. I imagined taking her to dinner, handing her a small box with a ring inside, explaining everything at once. "Look, I built something. I sold it. I want to build a life with you. Let's do it together." I had the ring picked out. I had the restaurant reservation half planned in my head. I just needed the deal to finalize. Then she asked to see my apartment. It was a Saturday morning. We were having coffee at her place, and she mentioned she had never been to mine. She said it in a light, curious way, but there was something underneath it. A test. I didn't think much of it. "Sure, come over tonight." She smiled, kissed me, told me she was excited to see my space. I should have heard the hesitation in her voice. I didn't. That evening I cleaned up, put fresh sheets on the bed, bought wine and ingredients for dinner. I was actually excited. I thought it was a step forward. She arrived at 6:30, parked next to my Civic in the apartment lot. I watched her from the window. She looked at my car for a long time, then at the building. Her face didn't move, but something shifted behind her eyes. She walked up the stairs slowly, like she was reconsidering. When I opened the door, she smiled, but it was tight, performative. She stepped inside, looked around. My apartment is small but well kept. Hardwood floors, clean walls, a couch I bought used but reupholstered, a desk in the corner where I used to work late, bookshelves along one wall, a kitchen with basic appliances. Nothing fancy, nothing broken, nothing embarrassing, just normal. She set her purse down, walked to the window, looked out at the parking lot again. Then she turned to me, and I saw it. Disappointment. Not subtle, not hidden, just flat, open disappointment. So this is it? Yeah, this is home. She nodded slowly, looked at the couch, the kitchen, the bedroom door. Logan, can I be honest with you? Sure. She took a breath. I've been thinking a lot about what I need in a relationship, and I think I need someone who's more established, someone who has their life together. I just stood there. I didn't understand what she was saying. I have my life together. She shook her head. I mean financially. I need stability. I can't be with someone who's still figuring things out. She gestured around the apartment. This is fine for now, but I'm 30. I want to start planning a future. I want to know the person I'm with can provide that. The word provide hit me like cold water. You think I can't provide? She looked uncomfortable. I think you're doing your best, but I also think you're still in the struggle phase. And I've done that before. I don't want to do it again. I asked her what she meant by struggle phase. Living paycheck to paycheck? Driving old cars? Renting forever? Not having a plan? Logan, you're 32 and you still drive a car from 2014. You live in a one-bedroom apartment in Fremont. I'm not judging you, but I need to be realistic about my future. Something in me went very quiet. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just asked her if she wanted to stay for dinner. She looked at the ingredients on the counter, then back at me. I think I should go. Okay. She picked up her purse, walked to the door, stopped, turned around like she wanted to say something else. I'm sorry, you're a great guy. You deserve someone who's okay with this. She gestured at the apartment one more time. Then she left. I stood in the middle of my kitchen for a long time after she was gone. The wine was still on the counter. The chicken was still in the fridge. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel sad. I felt something close to relief, because in one 15-minute conversation, Everly had shown me exactly who she was. She didn't ask why I lived simply. She didn't ask about my company. She didn't ask if I was happy or fulfilled or building towards something. She looked at my car and my apartment and decided I wasn't enough. And the worst part was she thought she was being kind about it. I opened my laptop, checked my email. My lead attorney had sent the final draft of the acquisition agreement. The buyer had signed. We were scheduled to close in 10 days. I stared at the number. 23 million, not including earnout clauses, not including retention bonuses for my team, not including the equity I held in the acquiring company. I could have told her. I could have called her, explained, made her feel foolish. But I didn't, because it wouldn't have changed what I learned. She didn't leave because I was struggling. She left because she thought I was. And that told me everything. I deleted her number, poured the wine, made dinner for one. The deal closed on a Tuesday. I was in a conference room with my co-founder, our lawyers, and the acquiring company's executive team. Signatures, handshakes, wire transfer confirmations. My co-founder started crying halfway through. I felt numb. We had built something real and now it was someone else's. But we had also won. We had taken an idea and turned it into a profitable exit. We had made our investors whole, set up our employees, secured our futures. It was everything we worked for. And it was over. Afterward, my co-founder wanted to celebrate. I told him I needed a few days to process. He understood. He knew I had been going through something personal. I went home, sat on my couch, and stared at my bank account. The first tranche had already hit. 8 figures, just sitting there. I didn't feel different. I didn't feel rich. I felt tired. The acquiring company's PR team scheduled the announcement for the following Monday. They wanted to coordinate press releases, interviews, portfolio announcements. I agreed to everything. Signed off on quotes, approved photos, let them use my LinkedIn headshot. I wasn't thinking about Everly. I was thinking about my team, my investors, the 5 years of work that led to this moment. But in the back of my mind, I knew the second that announcement went live, everything would change. I just didn't know how fast. Update 1. The press release hit at 8 a.m. on Monday. TechCrunch published within 30 minutes. Bloomberg picked it up an hour later. By 10 a.m., my LinkedIn had exploded. Congratulations messages, interview requests, investor pitches, former colleagues I hadn't spoken to in years suddenly reaching out. My phone was ringing nonstop. I turned off notifications and made coffee. Then I saw Everly's name on my screen. She called at 9:17 a.m. I stared at the phone, let it ring out. She called again at 9:19, then 9:22, then 9:25. I turned my phone face down and went for a run. By the time I picked it up again, I had 6 missed calls from her and 3 text messages. Logan, I just saw the news. I had no idea. Can we please talk? I made a huge mistake. I should have asked more questions. I'm so sorry. Please call me back. I miss you. I read them twice. Then I set my phone down and opened my laptop. My co-founder had sent a message. Dude, your ex is blowing up my phone. What do I tell her? I told him to ignore her. He sent back a thumbs up emoji. By noon, Everly had called 11 more times. The texts were getting longer, more desperate. She had been thinking about me all week. She regretted how things ended. Material things didn't matter to her. She just wanted stability. And now she realized I had been stable all along. She loved me. She used the word love for the first time in our entire relationship, in a text message, 2 weeks after breaking up with me. I didn't respond. That afternoon, mutual friends started texting. Hey man, Everly's asking about you. Should I give her your new number? I told them all the same thing. No, one friend pushed back. Everly seemed really upset. Maybe I should hear her out. I asked him a simple question. If the acquisition never happened, would she be calling me right now? He went quiet. Then he admitted probably not. Exactly. By Wednesday, the calls had reached 20. The texts had become full paragraphs. She apologized for judging me. She was stressed about her own career and took it out on me. She should have trusted me. If I gave her another chance, she would prove she wasn't materialistic. She didn't care about money. She just wanted me. Every message was a performance, every word, carefully chosen to sound selfless while chasing exactly what she walked away from. Thursday morning, she showed up at my apartment. I was working on my laptop when I heard the knock. I looked through the peephole. Everly, holding flowers, wearing the dress I once told her looked nice, hair done, makeup perfect. She knocked again. Logan, I know you're home. Please, just talk to me for 5 minutes. I stayed silent. She knocked louder. Logan, come on, we can fix this. I know we can. I sat on my couch and waited. After 10 minutes, she left the flowers on the doorstep and walked to her car. I watched through the window as she sat in the driver's seat for a long time, staring at my building. Then she drove away. I waited another hour, threw the flowers in the dumpster. Friday, the tone of her messages changed. Apologies turned to frustration. Logan, I made one mistake. You're really going to throw away 8 months over one moment of honesty? That's incredibly immature. Then an hour later, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm just hurt. Please talk to me. Then that evening, if you really cared about me, you'd at least have the decency to respond. Ghosting is cruel. I read every word. Then I blocked her number. Update 2. Saturday morning, she found me on LinkedIn. Professional platform. Neutral ground. The message was short. Logan, I know you blocked me. I understand you're hurt, but we had something real. Please don't let pride ruin that. I'm asking for one conversation. That's all. Just one. I didn't block her on LinkedIn. I wanted to see how far she would go. Sunday, the messages came through Instagram, then Facebook, then Twitter. Each platform, same desperation, slightly different words. I miss you. I made a mistake. Please give me a chance to explain. I screenshotted every single one, didn't respond to any of them. Monday, she tried a new strategy. She sent a package to my apartment. I found it outside my door when I left for a meeting. Small box, wrapped in brown paper. My name written in her handwriting. I brought it inside, opened it carefully. Inside was a framed photo of us from a trip we took to Vancouver 3 months ago. We were standing on a pier, smiling, arms around each other. On the back, she had written, "This was real. Don't let money change what we had." The irony was suffocating. Money didn't change what we had. Money revealed what we didn't have. I put the frame in a drawer and left for my meeting. That week, mutual friends became messengers. 3 different people reached out with variations of the same script. Everly was devastated. Everly couldn't eat. Everly couldn't sleep. Everly felt terrible. Everly just wanted to apologize in person. One friend, Natalie, was more direct. She called me Tuesday evening. "Logan, I get it. You're angry, but she's falling apart. Can't you just talk to her? Give her closure at least?" She gave herself closure when she walked out of my apartment. Natalie sighed. "People make mistakes." She didn't know about the company. Exactly. She didn't know. And she still decided I wasn't good enough. That's not a mistake, Natalie. That's a value system. Natalie paused. What if she had stayed? What if she never saw your apartment and you told her about the sale later? Would you still feel this way? I thought about it. If she had stayed, I would have proposed. And I would have spent the rest of my life wondering if she said yes because of me or because of the money. Now I don't have to wonder. She answered the question before I asked it. Natalie didn't call back. Wednesday, Everly sent a handwritten letter to my apartment. 6 pages. I recognized her handwriting on the envelope. I almost threw it away unopened. But curiosity won. I sat down and read it. She went through our entire relationship, moment by moment. The night we met, our first date at that Italian restaurant, the weekend we spent hiking in the Cascades, the time I stayed up all night helping her prepare for a big presentation. She had never felt more comfortable with anyone. I made her laugh, challenged her, supported her. She had been scared about her financial future and made a terrible decision. She knew actions mattered more than words. And if I gave her a chance, she would prove every day that she valued me, not my money. She signed it, "Forever yours, Everly." I read the letter twice. Then I fed it through my paper shredder page by page. That same week, I noticed something on social media. Everly had posted a photo of us from months ago. The caption read, "Missing the simple moments." Comments flooded in. Friends saying, "You two were so cute," and "What happened?" She didn't respond to any of them. The next day, she shared an article about minimalism and intentional living. The day after that, a quote about forgiveness and second chances. She was building a narrative, showing everyone that she wasn't materialistic, that she valued substance over flash, that she had always been that person. It was strategic, calculated, and it made me feel nothing. Friday, she tried a different approach. She contacted my co-founder directly, sent him a message on LinkedIn. He forwarded it to me with a note. "She's relentless. Want me to shut this down?" The message said she understood I needed space, but she wanted me to know she had started therapy. She was working on herself, learning about her priorities and where they came from. When I was ready, she would love to share that growth with me. I told my co-founder to ignore it. He said he already had. Update 3, week 3, Everly called my office. The acquisition meant I still had a transitional role with the buying company for 6 months. I was working from their downtown Seattle location twice a week. The receptionist transferred a call to my desk Tuesday afternoon. I picked up thinking it was my attorney. "Logan, thank God. I've been trying to reach you everywhere." "How did you get this number?" She hesitated. "I called the main line. I told them I was your girlfriend." "You're not." Long silence. Then quieter. "Logan, please. Just 10 minutes. That's all I'm asking. 10 minutes to explain." "You already explained. 2 weeks before the acquisition closed, you looked at my apartment and my car and decided I wasn't enough. You didn't ask about my work. You didn't ask if I was happy. You made a judgment based on appearances. That's who you are. I'm just choosing to believe you." Her voice cracked. "That's not fair. I made a mistake. People make mistakes." "You didn't make a mistake, Everly. You revealed your priorities, and now that those priorities align with what you thought you wanted, you're trying to rewrite history. That's not a mistake. That's manipulation." She started crying. "That's not true. I loved you before I knew about any of this. No, you tolerated me. There's a difference. Then I hung up. She called back immediately. I didn't answer. She called 6 more times that afternoon. I set her number to auto-reject. That evening, my doorbell rang. I checked the peephole. Everly again, this time holding a bag from my favorite Thai restaurant. She knocked. Logan, I brought dinner from that place on Capitol Hill you love. Remember? We used to go there all the time. She knocked again. Please, I just want to talk. Just talk. That's all. I turned off the lights in my living room, sat in the dark, waited. She stayed for 25 minutes, knocking every few minutes, calling my name. Finally, she left the bag on the doorstep and walked away. I watched her car pull out of the parking lot, waited another hour, threw the food away. The next day, she changed tactics completely. She started showing up at places she knew I went. Coffee shop near my apartment. I walked in Thursday morning and saw her sitting by the window, laptop open, coffee in hand. She looked up when I entered, started to smile. I turned around and walked out, went to a different coffee shop across town. Friday, she was at my gym, sitting on a bench near the free weights, pretending to check her phone. I saw her before she saw me, left immediately, canceled my membership that afternoon, joined a different gym. Saturday, she was at the bookstore I mentioned once in passing. I walked in, saw her browsing the poetry section, and walked right back out. It felt insane. I was changing my entire routine to avoid someone I used to trust, but I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of a public conversation. Sunday, a mutual friend, Aiden, called me. He was more direct than the others. Bro, you need to talk to Everly. She's losing it. She showed up at brunch yesterday crying. She can barely function. Just talk to her. Give her closure so she can move on. She can move on anytime she wants. I'm not stopping her. You're being cold, man. Yeah, she messed up, but this is excessive. Aiden, if I was still in that apartment, still driving that Civic, still looking like I was struggling, would she be falling apart right now? He didn't answer right away. Probably not. Then she's not falling apart over me. She's falling apart over what she thought she lost, and I'm not responsible for that. That's harsh. That's honest. He hung up. By week 4, the messages stopped. No calls, no texts, no letters, no showing up unannounced. I didn't know if she had finally accepted reality or if she was regrouping for another attempt. I didn't care. I blocked her on every remaining platform. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, email filters set to auto-delete, complete radio silence. It felt like closing a door I should have shut the day she walked out of my apartment. I focused on work. The transition was smoother than expected. The acquiring company respected our culture, kept most of the team intact, honored the equity agreements. I started advising early-stage startups. Quiet investments, no press releases, no announcements. Just helping founders who reminded me of myself 5 years ago. People building real things, not performing success. I also started looking at houses. Not because I needed to prove anything, not because I wanted to live differently, but because I was ready. I wanted space for a home office, a garage, maybe a dog. I kept the Civic, it ran fine. But I bought a second car for longer drives. Nothing flashy, just reliable. I set up a scholarship fund for first-generation college students studying computer science. $50,000 a year, renewable. I didn't announce it, I just did it. One afternoon, my co-founder asked how I was doing. We were grabbing coffee, talking about our next moves. I'm good. You seem lighter, like something shifted. I thought about it. I think I just stopped waiting for the other shoe to drop. Everly showed me who she was. I believed her, and now I'm moving on. He nodded. You know what's funny? If she had just stayed, just trusted you, she'd be part of all this. The house, the investments, the next chapter. She walked away from the life she said she wanted. She walked away from me. The life was just a bonus she didn't know existed. He smiled. Exactly. A month later, I ran into Everly. I was at a restaurant with my co-founder and 2 angel investors, celebrating a term sheet one of our portfolio companies just closed. She was at the bar with 2 friends. I saw her before she saw me. She looked thinner, tired, hair still done, makeup still perfect, but something behind her eyes had dimmed. She glanced across the room. Our eyes met. She froze, started to stand up like she was going to come over. I looked away, kept talking to my co-founder, didn't acknowledge her. When I glanced back a few minutes later, she was gone. That night a message came through, not from her number, from a mutual friend's phone. Just 2 sentences. I'm sorry for everything. I hope you find someone who sees you the way I should have. I stared at the message for a long time, then I deleted it. Didn't respond. 2 weeks later, I started seeing someone new. Her name was Camilla, high school teacher. She drove a 2011 Toyota with a dented bumper. Lived in a small apartment she loved because it was walking distance from her school. We met at a bookstore. She was buying poetry. I was buying history. We started talking about our favorite authors. The conversation lasted 2 hours. I didn't tell her about the acquisition until our 4th date. She asked what I did for work. I used to run a software company, recently sold it. That sounds stressful. It was. So what are you doing now? Figuring that out, she smiled. That sounds nice. She didn't ask how much I sold the company for. She didn't ask about my house or my car or my bank account. She asked if I was happy. Getting there. That's the only thing that matters. We've been together for 6 months now. She still doesn't care about the money. She cares that I'm kind, that I listen, that I show up, that I'm building something real. My co-founder met her last month, pulled me aside afterward. That's the one. I think he's right. Final closure. Last week I saw Everly's engagement announcement. A friend sent it to me, probably thinking I'd want to know. She was marrying someone I didn't recognize. Older guy, VP title at a finance firm. Nice suit in the photo, large house visible in the background. She looked happy, smiling in that performative way I used to recognize. I felt nothing. No jealousy, no bitterness, no vindication, just nothing. I hope she's happy. I hope he gives her the stability she was looking for. I hope she learned something from what happened between us. But I also know this. If I had still been in that apartment, still driving that Civic, still looking like I was struggling, she would never have looked back. She left when she thought I had nothing. She came back when she found out I had everything. And when I didn't answer, she found someone else who looked the part from day one. That's the difference between her and Camilla. Camilla saw me when I had nothing to prove. Everly only saw me when she thought there was something to gain. I sold my company for $23 million. I lost a girlfriend who valued appearances over substance. I gained clarity about what actually matters. That was the best trade I ever made. The Civic is still in my garage. I drive it sometimes, usually when I'm meeting with founders who are just starting out. I kept the apartment too, turned it into an office space for the Scholarship Foundation. They're not trophies, they're reminders. Your worth isn't determined by what you own. It's determined by who stays when you own nothing at all. Everly needed stability. I gave her clarity instead. She chose appearances. I chose authenticity. And honestly, we both got exactly what we deserved.